Sometimes the first sign that something's wrong is that everything feels too perfect. That's how it was that night. The music was soft. The table was set. My wife, Elena, wore the red dress I hadn't seen in months. She poured wine like we were still in love. But beneath all of it, the candlelight, the laughter, the perfectly cooked steak, there was a silence. A heaviness that didn't match the scene. My name is Nathan. I'm 38. And that night was supposed to be a celebration. It ended up being the start of my unraveling. Elena and I had been married for 11 years. We'd met at university. She was the bold one, witty, sharp, the kind of woman who left a mark on every room. I was the quieter type, analytical, maybe a little boring on paper, but steady, solid. We worked. Or so I thought. Lately, though, something had changed. She had grown distant, more secretive. There were more late meetings, more girls' nights with friends I never met, more nights she fell asleep facing the wall. I tried to ignore it, told myself it was stress, work, routine. But you can only lie to yourself for so long before the cracks start leaking. That night, I'd come home early. I wanted to surprise her, bring flowers, cook dinner, maybe break the silence between us. But when I walked through the door, I found everything already done. Table set, candles lit, her hair done, wine breathing. She looked at me like she used to, but something in her eyes didn't match the smile. I thought I'd surprise you, she said. And I wanted to believe it. I tried to believe it. But my gut, the part of me I'd silenced for months, had already started screaming. We ate. We talked about surface things. Work. Weather. Some funny videos she saw. But she never once asked how I was. Never reached for my hand. And every time I looked into her eyes, I saw distance, like she was already gone, already somewhere else. That's when I knew something was wrong. Not because she said something, but because for the first time in years, she said nothing. It was just after 9 p.m. Elena had gone to take a shower, humming something low under her breath as the water roared to life behind the bathroom door. I was in bed, scrolling absently through emails, half watching some show I wasn't even following. My mind kept going back to that dinner a few nights ago. The way her smile didn't reach her eyes. The hollow sound of her laugh. The way she watched me, but not like she used to. I wanted to be wrong. God, I wanted to be wrong. Then her phone buzzed. Once. Then again. It was on her nightstand, face down. And like always, I told myself, don't look. Don't be that guy. But trust, when it's cracked, doesn't break all at once. It fractures silently, until all that's left is a whisper of paranoia echoing inside you. I turned my head. The screen had lit up, revealing a preview, just enough of a message to turn the world upside down. Last night was fire. I can't stop thinking about you. At first, I froze. I stared at the glowing screen as if I'd read it wrong, hoping some part of me had misunderstood, misread, misjudged. But then it buzzed again. This time, her reply flashed in. You make me feel alive again. I can't believe I had to come home to him after that. I sat there in silence. The weight of those words hit like bricks on my chest. You don't prepare for moments like this. There's no manual for finding out your wife just spent the night in someone else's arms and had no intention of hiding her pleasure about it. What stunned me more than the betrayal was the ease with which she said it. No remorse. No hesitation. Just raw desire, wrapped in contempt. Him. That was me. 11 years together, and I was reduced to him, like I was the stranger in our marriage, the inconvenience in her new romance. I didn't unlock the rest of the conversation. I didn't need to. Because you don't need every brick when you're already buried in the collapse. I placed the phone back exactly where it was. My heart was pounding in my ears. My mouth was dry, but I made myself sit still. And moments later, she stepped out of the bathroom, wrapped in a towel, face fresh, smiling like the perfect wife. She leaned over and kissed my forehead. I'm wiped. Let's just go to sleep, okay? I nodded. She climbed into bed, rolled away from me, as she had so many nights before. And I lay there beside her, eyes wide open, next to a woman I didn't know anymore. At 2 a.m., I got up and sat alone in the kitchen. Just me, a glass of water, and the truth. That wasn't the first message. It wasn't the first time. And I knew in that moment that whatever life I thought I had with Elena, it was already over. Now, all I needed were the pieces to prove it. I wish I could say I confronted her the next day, that I stood up, slammed the phone on the table, and demanded answers. But I didn't. Because part of me needed to know everything first. Not just that she cheated. I needed to know how, when, and with who. I needed the full map of the lie I'd been living in. Only then could I burn it down without hesitation. I started with the phone. She'd been careless. Her passcode hadn't changed in years. While she was in the shower or asleep, I quietly searched, not just for messages, for patterns. And the truth? It wasn't one man. There were three, each saved under initials like R or MJ, each thread carefully trimmed. No photos, no long conversations, just short bursts of filth and stolen time. But one name kept coming back. Ethan. The messages were older and longer. Some went back over a year. I miss our weekends. You're the only thing keeping me sane. I hate pretending with him. Some were sent while I was in the same house. Birthday weekends I thought she was spending with friends. She was with him. Business trips? Just hotel rooms and lies. She even sent him a photo of her in the red dress, the same one she wore that dinner night, smiling like she was in love. Except the caption read, "You'll see this on my body tonight, and him still won't know a thing." It wasn't infidelity. It was contempt. A long, slow mockery of everything we'd built. And I sat there, night after night, reading through years of messages while she slept beside me, peaceful, content, dreaming in someone else's arms. I wasn't angry. Not at first. I was numb, like someone had stolen my life and handed me back a cheap imitation. Eventually, I began collecting screenshots, backups, exported chats, audio messages, calendar overlaps. I created a folder on an encrypted drive, labeled Truth, because when the time came, I wasn't going to just accuse her. I was going to show her the evidence, piece by piece, and make her watch everything collapse. Like I had. It was a Friday evening when I decided I'd had enough. 2 weeks of pretending. 2 weeks of living next to a stranger. 2 weeks of watching her laugh, cook, kiss me goodbye, all while I held the full truth in my hands. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg for answers. I was going to show her exactly what she gave me: silence, detachment, and a slow unraveling. Only this time, I was in control. I waited until dinner. We sat at the table in near silence, the same way we had dozens of times lately. Elena scrolled her phone lazily, not even pretending to hide it anymore. I stood up. "I want to show you something," I said, calm, cold. She looked up, surprised, maybe slightly annoyed. I plugged my laptop into the TV, opened the folder, Truth, clicked slideshow. At first, she didn't understand. Photos of text messages, screenshots, chat logs, a timestamped location from a night she told me she was with her sister, but her phone pinged from a hotel 2 towns away. Her face shifted. Subtly, almost imperceptibly. Then came the voice notes. Ethan laughing. Her whispering, "I wish I didn't have to go home." Then the photo. The red dress. Her smirking in the mirror, captioned, "I'll pretend it's you who undresses me tonight." She stopped chewing. Put her fork down. Stared at the screen. But still, she said nothing. "You lied to me for over a year," I said. Slept with other men, called me an inconvenience, and smiled in my face while I raised our life. Nothing. Not a tear. Not a scream. Not even shame. Just a mask. Cracked. And in that moment, I realized she wasn't sorry. She was cornered. What she felt wasn't guilt. It was exposure. So I gave her the final blow. I've already spoken to a lawyer. I've got backups, witnesses, timelines. You don't get to twist this. You don't get to spin it. You don't get to play victim. This is the end. She blinked slowly. Still no words. Just silence. The same silence she used to kill our marriage over the past year. Only now, it wasn't power. It was defeat. I walked out of that room without another word. Because sometimes, the loudest thing you can say is absolutely nothing. The morning after I exposed everything, Elena was gone. No note. No call. No explanation. The house was eerily quiet, like it had finally exhaled after holding its breath for too long. And for the first time in months, I could hear my own thoughts. Not guilt. Not rage. Just clarity. But she didn't stay gone for long. 3 days later, she showed up on the doorstep. No makeup. Hoodie. Eyes red, not from grief, but from panic. She looked like a person who had finally realized her audience had left the theater. And now, there was no one left to lie to. "Can we talk?" she said. I stepped aside. Not to comfort her. To witness her unravel. She tried the script first. The tears. The shaky voice. The trembling hands. It was a mistake. I was lost. I didn't mean to fall out of love. Then came the guilt. You didn't see me anymore. I needed attention, affection. I felt invisible in this house. And finally, the desperation. But I never stopped loving you. Please, don't throw away everything we had. I let her speak. I let her empty herself. Because it wasn't about getting answers anymore. It was about showing her that I didn't need them. She kept waiting for my voice to crack. For me to soften. For me to reach for her like I used to, even in pain. But that man? He was gone. You lied, Elena. Repeatedly. For months. To my face. In my bed. And now you want me to pretend it was a cry for help? She looked away. No fight left. Just silence again, but this time, not calculated. Just empty. You didn't destroy our marriage, I said. You ended it. Quietly. Rehearsed. With every text, every room key, every kiss you gave someone else. I'm not here to hate you. I'm here to move on from you. She asked if there was someone else. I laughed. No. But someday there will be. And that woman won't be a liar. She cried again. But I didn't flinch. Because I had already done my grieving, while she was still calling me him in someone else's bed. It's been 6 months. The divorce was clean. Quick. Painless, on paper, at least. She still reaches out sometimes. A photo from a trip we once took. A memory she clings to like a child clutching a broken toy. I never respond. Not out of hate. But because I promised myself something the day I pressed play on that slideshow. Never again will I chase someone who runs from truth.